My name is Sarah, and I am a slave in the South. My master, Mr. Brown, is a kind master. He gives me plenty of good food, and he gives me a warm place to sleep. Even though my master is kind, I still have to go to work very long, very hard days every day. Mr. Brown is one of the richer whites in the South, so he owns many other slaves. Sometimes we all talk about where our ancestors came from, like Africa. We talk about our history, our religion, and sometimes when we know no one is listening, we talk about reading, and about how wonderful it would be if we could escape. In the South, cotton is a huge part of the economy. There are many cotton plantations like the one I work on. Most plantations are not as big as the one I work on because Mr. Brown is part of the cottonocracy. The cottonocracy is what everyone calls the wealthy whites. Even though there are only a few families in the cottonocracy, they still have a major influence on how life in the South is run. My brother David is owned by the neighbors. They aren't near as rich as Mr. Brown, but they are still kind masters to David. Mr. Brown and David's masters often work together because David and his masters sometimes can't get enough of the work done. On Sunday, Mr. Brown and David's masters let all of the slaves who want to go to church go. The music is both African and Christian. Some of the people who go to this church are freed blacks. This got some of the enslaved blacks thinking about rebellion. Some slaves even started to break tools and steal food from their owners. Most of the other slaves even talked about escape. I know 4 young slaves tried to go north. 2 of them were caught and brought back to their masters. The other 2 got away and got to the north. 1 month after the 4 boys ran away, Mr. Brown gathered all of us and told us that we couldn't go to church the next day. We all wanted to know why, but he wouldn't tell us any more than we couldn't go. When I talked to my brother about it, he told me it was because of a slave named Nat Turner. He said that Nat wanted to create a huge rebellion, and he had gotten many people and many of the slaves in our church to join. David also told me that Nat's rebellion had started. He also told me that Nat and his followers had already killed more than 20 whites. I do not like whites, but I wouldn't go as far as to kill them, partly because I know the white police would catch me and kill me for it, or they would give me to Mr. Brown and Mr. Brown would punish me. Also, partly because what would it be the point of killing a white who had done nothing to me? Also, I know that murder is wrong, even if it is a white person who has hurt many slaves.